Today on the channel, we're going to check out the Donner DST 550. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to check out the Donner DST 550 electric guitar, and I can't remember the last time that I was this excited to see a guitar in person. The pictures that Donner sent me of this guitar were absolutely stunning, and I love the color combination of the model that I picked out. Donner sent me a message and asked me if I wanted to review the DST 550 on the channel, and I said, yeah, I'd be more than happy to. Of course, I'd be happy to do it. Everything that Donner has sent me in the past has been excellent, and I don't get paid to do these reviews. Donner just sends me the stuff, and I get to keep the items. If I like the product, I put it on the channel and share it with everybody here. So if it's something that you're interested in getting, then by all means do so. I'll put the link in the description. It's not an affiliate link. It'll just be the links for the product. So I don't get any kickbacks for this. But if you like the guitar, check it out. There's several color combinations. Hopefully they sent me the color I requested. I'm pretty excited. So without further ado, let's get to unboxing this thing. It just came in this box from DHL, so I'm a little concerned. A lot of times these guitars, when they come from China, they'll be in a really large box, and then inside that box there'll be this box. But this is the only way that it came. So I don't know if that's a DHL thing or what. It cost me about $50 to get this thing imported from China. So that kind of stunk. But you know, that's not bad. That's a reasonable cost. I don't know if those fees would apply if you bought it off of Amazon. Probably not. This was a direct shipment from the manufacturer, so I had to pay a little bit, and Donner's always cool about that. They recoup me for those expenses, which they don't have to do, but I really appreciate it. Alright, so I was struggling to get this corner undone on this box. Don't worry, I'll get a close-up view of this thing once we get it open, and I'll give you the full specs, and we'll do an audio review of it as well. I'll plug it into the system in the studio, and we'll see how good it sounds. Alright, the moment of truth. Alright, as usual, Donner stuff comes packed with a nice gig bag. Nothing else in this case. It was actually packed really nice. There's a little bit of styrofoam surrounding the guitar and on the edges of this box. A little protective styrofoam at the top. Okay, it doesn't seem to be broken or anything jangling around in there, so that's encouraging. Let me open up this zipper and see if there's anything in here. All right, so inside this book, we've got a Create the Moment manual for the guitar. I'll look up the specs online to see exactly what the specific details are on this thing. So let's get it out of the gig bag. It's always tricky making sure I get all this on camera so everybody can see it. Take this rubber band off the end of it here. Trying to make this as quick as possible. I know it gets a little annoying waiting for the guitars to come out of the bag. All right, that was on the tip of the headstock, a little piece of foam for protection. Okay, so there's our headstock, and we've got some locking tuners on it. So what does this headstock say? The headstock says Versonic. I couldn't read it at first. The Donner Versonic series. So this is a Versonic, V-E-R-S-O-N-I-C, Versonic. Interesting. I like that headstock. It looks kind of like a beak neck, like an old Kramer beak neck. Okay, so let's look and see. Let's look at the paint on this one. Take Take the styrofoam off the 5-way blade. It kind of reminds me of a Pacifica, like a Yamaha Pacifica in ways. It was Yamaha that made the Pacifica, right? Interesting, interesting. This must be a that must be a tap coil switch for the humbucker. I have yet to see a switch like this on a Donner guitar or any guitar ordered online. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. It's got a little Donner tag on it that's got chord boxes, chord shapes written on it. All right, so this is the finish of it. This thing looks very pretty. That kind of reminds me of sand, a little bit of aquamarine color. I like that fade. It's got a pearl pick guard on it. This is a 5-way blade. Okay, these are not push pulls, and this has to be a tap coil for that humbucker. I can't imagine what else it would be. So let's look at the back of this neck. The neck has this little carve out area, kind of a modern carve out, and it's got a little bit of a carve right here around the heel of the neck. So when you're up a little bit higher, it's more comfortable. So this is nice. This is a 4-screw bolt-on neck that's rounded off with a couple carve outs. This appears to be a roasted maple neck. I'm sure this is maple. The truss rod adjustment, like an Ernie ball, is right there. I'm loving that. This looks like a Wilkinson tremolo. The tremolo system on this guitar is a 2-point system, right? So there's 2 points right there, and it looks to be intonated. I gotta find the whammy bar. Must be in the gig bag. I'll check that out in a minute. Okay, so the neck, let's look at this neck. A lot of times you get these guitars and there's significant fret sprout. I'll be honest with you, I haven't had fret sprout on a Chinese-made guitar probably in a couple years. I mean, the fret edges of this thing are rounded. Feels like they've been rounded off real nice, and there is no exaggeration. There's 0 fret sprout at all on this, and it's almost in tune, but it's set up well. The action's nice. The carve of the nut looks excellent. Sometimes you get some affordable guitars or budget line guitars and the nut is extremely just blocky and not cut to the right slots, and the strings are super high off the first fret. This one is cut super low. I mean, I don't know if you can see that or not. Extreme close-up, but the nut on this thing, it couldn't be better. The edges of the nut are rounded off. It's not sharp on the edge. They're probably pre-cut or plecked, and they just pop them in. I doubt that a person actually cut that, but that nut looks great. Very, very close to a Fender nut. It's got 2 string trees on it. That's nice. And it's got a little bit of a kind of a volute on the back of the neck. Locking tuners. Not sure what this fretboard is. It's probably a Laurel fretboard, and I'm sure this is clearly veneer, but there's definitely a 1/4 inch top that's been attached to the body, and there is a comfort cut on the back of it like a Strat. Obviously a matching pearl cover for the back side of that. Okay. I'll take the back of this thing off and we'll take a look at the springs and the block on this tremolo just for kicks. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Okay, so check this out. There's the back of the guitar and the block that's on the guitar. It's a pretty thick block right there. Looks good on the inside. The route and everything looks nice. Nice thick block on the tremolo. Now the gig bag did include a whammy bar. So the whammy bar is a slide-in style whammy bar versus a screw-in whammy bar. It also comes with the truss rod adjustment tool, so you can just put the truss rod tool in the truss rod there and adjust as needed if you need to make adjustments. And it comes with 2 Allen wrenches, a real small one and a medium-sized Allen key. So if later on you want to adjust the height of your bridge or saddles, you can do so as needed. Okay, so it comes with everything that you'd look for and get set up. And if you want to make any minor tweaks, you can. I decided to take a peek at this thing on Amazon while I was getting the back of this guitar off. And currently it looks like on the Donner store on Amazon, this thing is rated 3.4 stars out of 5. So there's 7 ratings, and it looks like it's got good reviews. This is a gradient poplar body, laurel fretboard, maple veneer, 7-tone options. So that's because you've got the 5-way switch and you've got the split tap coil switch there. Tremolo bridge, and it's considered for intermediate and pro players. This is called Caribbean Shoreline Gradation. Okay. If I scroll through some of these some of the screens on here, the DST 550, there's some pretty cool colors. There's some purple that looks like there's kind of a charcoal gradient looking color. Nice options. Carbonized Canadian maple neck. I don't know what carbonized Canadian maple means, but it is a carbonized Canadian maple. Maybe that's why it looks kind of roasted. Ultra thin urethane Santi finish is what they say it's coated in. And this is a Super ST body shape. Redefine the curves, as they say. 2-point synchronized tremolo system with block saddles. We've already talked about that. The tuning machines are, let's see, 18:1 gear ratio. So that means that's a nice gear ratio. That means you can turn these things 18 times to get one complete loop around. So it's a very fine mechanism. The tuning isn't just you just tune it and the string automatically just changes pitch. So you can really fine tune and get nice detailed tuning from these tuning machines. Looks like that's about it really that I want to cover as far as specs. I'll put the link in the description below. So let's get some close-up shots of this and we'll go in the studio and play it and see what it sounds like. All right, cool. Okay, so here we are in the studio. I've got this thing going through Pro Tools. I'm using my Fractal X8 as always. I'm going to run through some of my presets that I play through most often, and going to do some, put a lot of effects on this thing, and I'm going to run it a little bit dry for you as well. So from the very beginning, we'll go through neck pickup, straight through bridge pickup, and I'll split the humbucker as well. So with this setting, I've got a, it's called double verb. It's one of my Fractal settings. I've got a little bit of reverb and delay and compression on it as well. Go to the neck position, or the next position, I should say. Man, that's nice. Let me show you what that sounds like without effects. Very cool. Middle position. Okay, the fourth position, which is neck or middle and humbucker. Neck and humbucker. Okay, so humbucker. There is the split engage. That's the humbucker with the tap coil. Here's the middle position with the tap coil engage. Turn it off. All right, so in the up position, this is a full-blown humbucker. Okay, it could be raised up. I should have raised this humbucker up a little bit. It's a little bit low. It'd be a little bit louder if I raised it up. All right, let's put some gain on it. Let me go to a little bit of a crunchier tone. All right, so let's try this. We'll split the humbucker. Sounds nice. We'll just go right up the pickup selector. It's holding tune pretty good. You know, this is straight out of the box. No setup. It plays great. The action's really low. The strings are new. So, I mean, after a little bit of playing, I think the tuning stability will level off just a little bit. Now we'll do some high gain. Let's do some high gain fun, okay? Let's put it on a Friedman model and see what we've got. Okay, so we're full-blown humbucker mode here, not split or anything, just the humbucker in its natural state. All right, we'll split the humbucker. Roll back a little bit. Let's check out this neck pickup. Man, it's totally cool. I'm loving the loving the sound of these pickups. Let's try something a little bit more ethereal, okay? Let's try this out. All right, so there it is, the Donner DST 550. This is a really nice guitar, I gotta say. It plays well, it sounds great. It was set up fine out of the box, and quite honestly, it's a beautiful guitar. I think it's a great value for just over 300 bucks. Again, I'm not paid for these videos at all, but I did put the link in the description below, and I appreciate Donner working with me to bring this guitar to everybody on YouTube today. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing, comment below, and as always, have a great day. Peace out.